not her type of guy, and she's got better things to do than to hang around with you. She's got other ways she'd rather spend her time. So for now, she just wants to Uber home. She says it's not that you're not handsome, you're just not her cup of tea. But she still wants to be your friend, 'cause if she meets her Mr. Right, then maybe you could help them move their stuff when she moves in with him. But for now, she just wants an Uber home. Girl, I know that it's all over now, but it's 8 p.m. on Friday night. The Uber rates are surging high. Oh girl, I promise not to cry again, but I'd really like if we could wait until the price goes down. She wants to Uber home now, and it's not negotiable. So open up that stupid app, get her address and all that crap, and just admit that it was never meant to be. 'Cause right now, she says she wants to Uber home. She has a boyfriend, the next day she's engaged, then she says she's married. Girl, why are you playing these mind games? Love games, head games, brain games, mind benders, brain twisters. She's playing with my head. I saw her on the street with another guy. Funny, 'cause she told me she didn't want to be in a relationship. Mind games, love games, head games, brain games, brain twisters, mind puzzlers. She's playing with my head. Word jumbles, magic mazes, spot the difference. What's the one where it's got all the letters going around it and you have to use a common letter and unscramble it? That one. We haven't spoken in years. Someone told me that she moved to California and married a lawyer. But then she calls me out of the blue and says she wants to sell me vitamin water. Ah! smiled, so I asked her on a date. She said that she was gay. Girl, why are you playing these mind games? Love games, head games, brain games, crossword puzzles, trivia questions, Sudoku, Wordle, word quizzes, brain busters, mind teasers, puzzle conundrums, jigsaw puzzles, crossword puzzles, words without friends, crypto jumble, word ladder, connect the word. What's the one where you've got 16 words in 4 categories and you have to group them according to a common theme? Waffle, dordle, nerdle, quordle, squirtle, phrasal, hurdle, nasal, word jumbles, magic mazes.
Testing the mic, test 1, 2. Computer, volume 10. Computer, what is the weather?
The current weather is 66 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect partly sunny weather, with a high of 72 degrees and a low of 54 degrees.
Ooh. Hello everybody, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be teaching you how to use the Mueller chopper slicer. It's a part 2. We had a little bit of difficulty last time, but I've got the instruction manual here. We'll be going through that and try to do it properly. As a matter of fact, I had it all wrong. I was just doing it so wrong. It's embarrassing, actually, but what are you going to do? Pancake King says, Henry, is Brisket's emotional support human? Oh, Henry, is Brisket's emotional support human? Yeah, kind of. This is a temporary situation here that we've got here at Henry's Kitchen. Let's take a look. This is Brisket. You named her Brisket. I even thought it was a male. What's with fucking animals anymore? It seems like they all just sleep all the time and depressed, you know? It seems like when I was growing up, you'd show up and the dog would come over and lick your hand or bark at you or do something, but it's like now they're just fucking depressed. I mean, we're the ones who are supposed to be depressed. The humans, they're supposed to cheer us up, but now if they're depressed, we're fucked. Anyway, so that's Brisket. Guitar Joe says, 50 Helens agree, animals were better before. Yeah, a lot of things have gotten better. Technology has gotten better. I'd say food has gotten better. Some music has gotten better. You have to seek it out because there's a lot more of it happening. But there's some really good music out there. But I think pets, on the whole, have gotten more depressed. And that can't be a good thing. Let's take a look at some of our alerts. We've got an alert from Amples. Thank you very much, Amples, for your subscription. And Bill Kunstler, famously of the, was it the Chicago 7? A lawyer, civil rights attorney, I believe, unless it's a different Bill Kunstler. Computer, is Bill Kunstler still around?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Maybe it was William Kunstler. I remember trying to put the name William Kunstler in one of my songs, and the producer said, you don't want to say Kunstler in your song. And he was right. It could have been a big hit, though. Demon G1 says, Lag has gifted a tier 1 sub to Lag is a flesh wound. That's one of those sentences that's probably never happened before, except maybe before Twitch. But Demon DG1 has gifted a tier 1 sub to Lag as a Flesh Wound. Thank you for your generosity, Demon DG1, and welcome Lag as a Flesh Wound to the community here. Nancy Drudels, thank you for cheering 100 bits. And Lady Dina, thank you so much for cheering 3 bits. It's very kind of you. And Amples, thanks again. Bill Kunstler, Fondue Yourself has subscribed for 34 months. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Fondue Yourself. Parasitosis says, Casio watches, please activate Bluetooth. We have Bluetooth going on here. I'll show you because I think that's how we're. No, this is through Wi-Fi. I just want to, when I show the picture, not the picture, but the cam on the dog Brisket, I just want to go, in the arms of an angel, or whatever that infomercial that keeps running with Sarah McLachlan's music. Okay, we've got a lot to do today, and thank you very much, Maui Girl, for sending us this background picture. This is a beautiful picture. This is every day for Maui Girl. Every morning she wakes up, she sees this and just takes a picture. Look at that. They got a cruise ship out there. That's amazing. Absolutely incredible. Beanie Bobini says, how does she do on walks? She does well. She's a healthy young dog. I guess dogs just sleep, and that's what it is. She's about 3 years old, which would be the equivalent of a 21-year-old. And when I was 21, to be fair, I was sleeping all the time. My friends would call me at 3 p.m. and say, hey, do you want to go get a coffee or something? And I'd be like, no, I'm thinking of going back to bed. And I would just sleep. Chamomile says maybe she's just camera shy. Could be. Pretty smart, though, to know that she's got a camera on her. Pug Lady 2600 asks, is that the infamous Hanta cruise? Yeah, this is the cruise that's carrying the new virus, and they're trying to get it out as much as possible, and they've got it coming to Hawaii now. And but it's very difficult to spread. Apparently, it's very unlikely to get it from human to human contact. It has to be rat feces. That means that the poor ship that had the hantavirus must be a terrible PR nightmare, you know? If they're like, yeah, the only way that you can get this virus is from people eating rat feces, maybe at the buffet or something, and they're probably like, yeah, I wonder if we could leave that out of the news release. Desolate Reality says, Henry, when will we get some more YouTube VODs? You know, I was putting them out every week for a second there, and literally the views started going down. And the goal isn't to get the views to go down. So I would love to put them out every week, but it's a lot of work, and it was literally just going like, I don't know if it's the algorithm. I mean, the comments were all really good, and then I have friends that were subscribers that say, I never see your stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. The whole thing is, so I'll be putting more out soon. I have about 10 in the chamber. Chamomile says they've sent that ship to my home country, so if I disappear, I've been killed by hantavirus. Yeah, you make it sound like hantavirus is like a serial killer or something, which I guess in a weird way it is. Van Honkerton says, did the overall watch time go up or down though? The overall watch time has always been pretty consistent at about, people make it through the montage and then they stop it at that point. But I don't really think I looked at that. But yeah, I just really look at the simple views of it. Desolate Reality says, maybe you need your intern to come over and help you make the YouTube VODs. Yeah, we could do that. Pug Lady 2600 says, if the rat poop is in cereal, it is. It is what? It is gross? Definitely very gross. Parasitosis says, people need to leave more shit on their second monitor. Yeah. Bill Kunstler says, send the intern over here. Yeah, we're going to have to get the intern, Beanie Bobini, to just get in and do all kinds of work. Roll up Beanie can roll up his sleeves and start doing a bunch of manual labor on this stuff, because that's what it really needs. It needs some elbow grease. Fire, 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 fire. As long as it isn't rat shit. It is rat shit, apparently. That's apparently what it is. Okay, I think I'm getting a lag here because I'm reading the comments a little after whatever the subject was. Hey, Mimsy Coon is here. Mimsy Coon says, Henry, would you babysit Pearl for me if I get the virus? I would. Yeah, Pearl is a new addition to Mimsy Coon's household, who's a beautiful dog that we've looked at a few times here on the Discord sourced green screen backgrounds. Speaking of which, we should go through a cool... Hi, Tara says, 182 says, good mythical morning mug. What a great year last year was, and so much of it was thanks to you, the users of Henry's Kitchen. And I got a call randomly from Good Mythical Morning and Rhett and Link, the YouTube show, and we did they did a beautiful show called Wonder Hole. It's amazing, and I suggest you watch every episode. And I was in the episode called Extreme Hide and Seek, so it was a highlight of last year. It was a lot of fun. So if you get a chance, check it out. Wonder Hole by Rhett and Link. Dark Ages says, Wonder Hole is so good, and Henry's episode was the best in the season. Wow, that's very nice of you. Thank you very much. I had a blast doing it. Boner of a Lonely Fart asks, Henry, would you be my caretaker if I got hantavirus? I'm going to probably say no. I'm usually a team player, but in that case, it doesn't really sound like something that I would be qualified for, nor would I like it very much. Maui Girl 45 says, I was trained to clean rodent feces when I worked in Yellowstone National Park. Yeah, you got to be very careful with it, you know. What you need is one of these. And we're going to talk about this today. This is it's like a toothbrush, but you just want to scrape those poops and get that virus off of there. Parasitosis says, just suck the liquid out of the lungs. Yeah, that's another option. Guitar Joe asks if it's Brisket's toothbrush. No, but not a bad idea. Okay, all right, everybody, we're getting off. Let's get this going here. Lacey T did some gaming the other day with the users, and here's a snapshot of the users. Game Master Flash, Boner of a Lonely Fart, Dark Ages, Beetlejuice or Beelzebub, and what's that last one? Good Dildo 666 Enter. Wow, that's Good Dildo 666 Enter. That's a creepy, what would you call it? A username, I guess. What a name. Yeah. Enter. Boner of a Lonely Fart says LMIAO. Beanie Bo Beanie says, that's me. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes sense then. I hope you guys had a great time. And let's see what else we got here. Nella sends us a picture of what presumably looks like the Kentucky Derby, maybe? Did you go to the Kentucky Derby? Computer, when was the Kentucky Derby?
The Kentucky Derby presented by Woodford Reserve will be held on Saturday, May 2nd at 3:57 p.m.
That already was, yeah. By the way, if you ever get a chance, if you go to Lexington, Kentucky, go to the Woodford Reserve Distillery. They make bourbon, and they have a whole tour, and it's absolutely beautiful, and you can drink their bourbon. Or even if you're just at home on a Saturday night and you just are bored, just get a Woodford Reserve, a whole bottle of it, and drink it while you're watching Hallmark movies with your pet. I'm kidding, guys. I don't want you to do that. It's not good for you. Everyone type Forsen says free bourbon. No, well, no. I mean, I think you have to pay it for the tour. Waffles 92, I'm always bored and at home. Nancy Drudel says sponsored by Big Bourbon. Yeah. I wish we were sponsored by Big Anything. We used to do a couple of these sponsored streams, but they were just kind of weird. I enjoy them. Okay, wow, look at this. Saguaro Ooh sends us a picture here of, I guess that's a telescope, but it also looks like it listens to maybe signals, like radio waves or something. This is rural New Mexico. Saguaro Ooh, are you there? Because we'd like to know more about this. What an incredible picture. I feel like I'm in a movie. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to use this as the background for our song, for our first song. Dark Ages says radio telescope array or something. That's incredible. Yeah. It's an array of devices, including radios and telescopes. It's Kate X says, are they ones in the background really small? Like that ghost child? No, I think this is a matter of perspective. That one's probably further away. Very cool pick. If you ever go to New Mexico, the whole thing's like this. The whole place is just like, what the fuck is that kind of stuff? Mal199 says, looks like the Very Large Array in New Mexico. Yeah, it's the Very Large Array. The one in front is very large. The one in the back, a little smaller. Oh, Saguaro Ooh says it looks for black holes. So do black holes make noise? Oh, yeah, that's right. So this is a telescope also. So they're looking for, is it the biggest telescope? Computer, tell me a little bit about the Very Large Array.
According to Wikipedia, the Carl G. Yansky Very Large Array is a centimeter wavelength radio astronomy observatory in the southwestern United States built in the 1970s.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for this. We're going to use it as the background. Parasitosis mentioned Black Hole Sun. This song is sort of from that same era, so it's going to have to do. This was a song that was requested to us by none other than Beanie Bo Beanie, our intern. Song by Metallica. Let's put on the reverb. Check. Check 1, 2. Help. So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. Never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. All these words, I don't know what to say, and nothing else matters. Trust I seek and find in you. I think this is Metallica's version of a love song. Every day for us something new. Coney Island. Open mind for a different point of view, and nothing else matters. Never cared for what they say, never cared
So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are.
Sounds like somebody's in love.
And nothing else matters. Never cared for what they do. Never cared for what they knew.
That was a little Jeff Tate there.
But I know. Never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. All these words, I don't know what to say. And nothing else matters.
This is when he fell in love with Debbie Gibson, I think.
Trust I seek and find in you. Every day for us something new.
Maybe Disneyland.
Open mind for a different view. And nothing else matters.
One more time.
Never cared for what they say. Never cared for games they play. Never cared for what they do. Never cared for what they knew. And I know. So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are. No, nothing else matters.
Thank you, Beanie Bobini, for that trip down memory lane, requesting Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, which is one of their only sort of wear your heart on the sleeve love songs, and I believe he wrote it during a romantic tryst, if you will, that he experienced with Debbie Gibson, who was also a hit songwriter. And Beelzeby says that was phenomenal. Wow, thank you very much. I really felt that one. That was a lot of fun. Boner of a Lonely Fart says, give me 4, give me 5, give me $1.95. Yeah. Is that a lyric from one of their songs? Parasitosis says Lars is going to nuke the VOD, right? Oh, that's right. Lars is really big on copyright law. Mentally Eel 247 says Debbie Gibson is still pretty hot. She very much is, yeah. It was either Debbie Gibson or Tiffany, and both of them are still very hot. A Viron says, whoa, is this the ET response coming through the dishes? Yeah, I think this signal went out about 30 years ago, and I think it takes 15 years to bounce off of Neptune and then come back. So some creatures that live on Neptune were like, we don't want this shit, and they sent it right back to us. Saguaro Ooh says it was awesome. Thank you very much. One day the aliens, and just because we live in an infinite universe, one day aliens will hear my cover of Metallica. It could take hundreds of years, but they're going to be like, what is this shit? It sounds like that other thing that came 30 years ago. Game Master Flash says Napster is still around, though, as a streaming service. I didn't realize that. Well, it makes sense. They had the branding down, and they just had to figure out a business model that wasn't completely illegal. But I get it. People were tired of having to pay $16 to buy a CD that had one good song on it. It was a little bit of a scam toward the end there. See, now, back in my day, you'd buy an album by a band like Queen or Meatloaf or whoever, and just every song was a banger. But then they finally said, you know what, all we have to really do is produce one song, put it on the radio, and get everybody to pay for the entire album, $16, And then Napster came around and they were like, fuck you. And that's when all the laws had to be made and everything. And there we go. Game Master Flash asks, who does theme albums anymore? I don't know, but I sure do miss them. One of my favorite bands when I was pretty young, you know, like 8 to 10 years old, was Styx. And every one of their albums was like a movie or something. You'd look at the album cover and there was a whole concept to it. Paradise Theater, incredible. Jack OTPS says, it's never too late to turn into a metal icon. Neat performance. Thanks, Jack OTPS. Let's check in on the alerts here. Lag is a Flesh Wound cheered 10 bits. Thank you very much, Lag is a Flesh Wound. And Mentally Ill 247, thanks again. Says Freebird. Okay. Well, during my days in the comedy club, if somebody yelled Freebird, I would say, that's a free bird for you right there. It was sort of a stock joke, if I remember correctly. It wasn't mine. But if somebody's going to say a stock heckle, then I guess they get a stock response. But we also did Freebird here. Lag is a Flesh Wound says Pink Floyd was great with The Wall. Yeah, they sure were. Making sure we're good. So Lady Dina, thanks again for all the cheers. And also Kludge, thanks for cheering. And Nancy Droodles. Mentally Ill 247, thanks again for subscribing with the Prime. I hope you're not mentally ill. But you know what? We all are to a certain expense. Parasitosis says a magician would let out a dove. I think I read that too late because it's a great sentence, but I don't know what it's in reference to. Oh! If somebody yelled Freebird during their performance, yeah. I am very fortunate to have been able to perform morning radio one time on the Bob and Tom show, and Leonard Skinnard, the band, actually was there in the studio. The current manifestation of the band, which I think is the original singer's brother and a couple of the original guys that survived the plane crash. And they asked them, what do you do when somebody yells Freebird? And they were like, we play it. And I guess that makes a lot of sense if you are the actual band. Where did that come from? Was it a movie? Because I know I started hearing it a lot in the 90s, and that's the end of it. But I've always been curious to know where that came from. Boner of a Lonely Fart says, are you more of a Roger Waters head or a David Gilmour freak? Well, as a guitar player, it's pretty hard for me not to be a David Gilmour freak. And do you use freak in the positive way or a derogatory way? I love Roger Waters too. I love Pink Floyd. They made a lot of great music, and they kind of had that concept album thing down that we were talking about. And The Who is another one. But yeah, there's been infighting. I haven't been keeping track of the infighting of any metal bands or prog rock or whatever kind of bands in many, many years. If you really want a great album, listen to David Gilmour live at Pompeii about 10 years ago. That's an incredible, for a guitar player, that's an incredible album. Okay, all right, everybody. We got a lot of cooking to do today. If you want to see what we're going to be working on, we're going to be teaching you how to make this. Fuck, no, it's not that. I thought I changed the picture. We're going to be teaching you how to use the vegetable slicer, which I've got here. It's called the Mueller Slicer, and you can see I've got some veggies here. I've got a zucchini, a potato, and is that? You know, it's funny. This is banana, but this is camouflaged into the back of the cutting board there. So I'm not really quite sure. But that's not a vegetable. Computer, is banana a vegetable? Hey, computer, is banana a vegetable?
Banana is a fruit.
Okay. I don't know why the delay. Maybe she thought I was joking. Parasitosis says depends on the part of the plant. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. All right, everybody. We've got some work to do. I don't remember, says the reverb is on. Yeah, it is on, but I still have another song that we have to do. So let's go ahead and do that. If you're just joining us, thank you very much for joining us. And let's see what else we've got. Pisces Baby gives us a nice background here. Wow, this is cool. This is very uplifting. Is that a rainbow? Holy shit. This is beautiful. I think we're going to use this for our next song. Maui Girl 45 says she is still thinking about rat feces. The computer. Yeah, that's right. Computer, does hantavirus come from rat feces?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Yeah. She's like, I'm going to stay out of this. Saguaro Oo says, looks like it came from a boy plant. Dazzlecat has entered the chat with some pictures of computer. Nancy Drudels says she got the virus. Could be. Maybe that explains her strange behavior. Talking about computer, not Dazzlecat. Beanie Bobini says the CDC has a muzzle on computer. Could very well be. Parasitosis says most strains are aerosol rat feces, but there is one strain that is human to human. That's right, yeah, the Andromeda strain or whatever. Aerosol rat feces, so is that like a little spray that you spray on people you don't like? Or maybe you could kill bugs with it, but it seems like they would actually like that. I don't know. But I didn't know they had aerosol spray cans of rat feces. We're talking about the hantavirus. None of us are experts here in this field, but we do like to talk out of our ass. I don't remember fitting background for talking about rat droppings. Yeah, kind of. I don't know. This is kind of nice, though. It's a rainbow. Let's go ahead and do this song. This one's going to cheer us all up. This one comes to us from Adam, a.k.a. Roach Swallower. Roach Swallower wanted to hear this one that goes back even before Metallica, probably even 20 years before that. It's a beautiful song by Glenn Campbell, and I don't know if Glenn Campbell wrote it, but it's called Rhinestone Cowboy. I believe it was a reference to David Allan Coe. I'm only saying that because he died recently, and I was reading a bio about him, and it said something about how this song was inspired by him. Ishmael says some tourists got it at a landfill where the machines aerosolize the rat poop. Oh, I see. So some tourists got it from that. Maybe when they got off the boat, that was the tour. You know, they really got to, these budget cruise ships really got to up their game in terms of the tour stops that they're doing. I remember doing it years ago, and we went to the Cayman Islands. I think we went to Cozumel and the Bahamas. But dropping the tourists off at a landfill with aerosolized rat shit just sounds like a horrible, like I would want my money back. And then you get a virus, a deadly virus on top of that. Saguaro Oo says, stay away from rodent poo and pee, kids. Yeah, isn't that how, oh my goodness, why am I blanking on his name? The actor who played Lex Luthor in the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. He died, I think, he was like bedridden, and then I think his wife died of hantavirus. Gene Hackman. Yeah, there you go. How soon we forget. Okay, here we go. Little song goes all the way back to Actually, I don't know. Computer, when was the song Rhinestone Cowboy released?
Rhinestone Cowboy was released on July 31st, 1975.
Wow. We're going back almost 50 years. Actually, more than 50 years ago for this song. 20 years prior to even the Metallica song. But this is closer to the Metallica song than the Metallica song is to us. We're way out in the future right now, and it's crazy. We're going to use this beautiful background that was gifted to us by Pisces Baby. And here we go. A little ditty by Glenn Campbell. Computer, who wrote the song Rhinestone Cowboy?
Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell was written by Larry Weiss.
Larry Weiss, okay. So often we don't know who writes these amazing songs. But the good news is Larry Weiss is probably shitting money to this day. He's probably very old. He's probably living in a situation similar to Gene Hackman, where his wife is dying of rat-infested hantavirus. Sorry. Computer, is Larry Weiss still alive?
From Amherst.edu. Larry Weiss passed away June 1st, 2018 after a long battle with leukemia.
Sorry to hear that. Boy, that's a real pick-me-up. Anyway, this is a song that everybody's going to enjoy, and it's going to get us all in a good mood. What do you say to that, Brisket? Jeez, everybody's freaking depressed today. What's going on? The whole point of getting a little animal on your stream is they're supposed to be all doing fun puppy type stuff. Okay. Fondue yourself, says Brisket, says yeah, that's all he ever says, or she says. Okay, Linway, thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you, Linway. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do this song here. It's one of my favorites from when I was a little kid. This was a great song. Roach Swallower. Hey, Roach Swallower, thanks for joining us today. They're supposed to do what? Can you do it again? I missed it. Oh, Roach Swallower, you're the one who requested this song. I almost forgot. I don't know what you're referring to, but we're doing a song that was requested to us by Roach Swallower. And it goes a little something like this. I've been walking these streets so long, singing the same old song. I know every crack in the dirty sidewalks of Broadway. I grew up in New York. There are dirty cracks. Where hustle's the name of the game, and nice guys get washed away like the snow and the rain. There's been a load of compromising on the road to my horizon, but I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo. Whoa, like a rhinestone cowboy. Oh yeah, getting cards and letters from some people I don't even know, and offers coming over the phone. I want to tell the musicians out there I'll be minoring that 4 chord throughout this one, or at least for the chorus. I really don't mind the rain. Smiles can hide all the pain. You're down while you're taking the train that's taking the long way. I've done that, you get mugged. And dream of the things I'll do with a subway token and $1 tucked inside my shoe. Remember when $1 could get you anything? I think you might be able to get a gumball. There'll be a load of compromising on the road to my horizon, but I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, a fucking rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse on a star-spangled rodeo. Whoa, just like a rhinestone cowboy. Oh yeah, getting cards and letters from some shit that I don't even know, and offers coming over the phone. You know what? I like that so much, I think we're gonna do it one more time. A rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse on a star-spangled rodeo. Whoa, just like a rhinestone and offers coming over the phone. Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell, written by Larry Weiss, who died 8 years ago, but not of the hentavirus. Thanks, everybody. I really felt that one. I felt like I let out some pent-up emotions. Beanie Bo Beanie gifted Roach Swallower a sub. Thank you very much, Beanie Bo Beanie, for gifting Roach Swallower a sub like that. That's very kind of you. And Beanie Bo Beanie, of course, our intern here, and Roach Swallower is the one who requested our song. Parasitosis says, only offer I ever get is to extend my car warranty. Yeah, that's the way it is with the phone, too. That's the only phone calls. I don't get offers on the phone. It's just always scam alert, or it says potential spam. But I answer it anyway, because I'm lonely. Thanks, Saguaro Ooh. Thanks, Boner of a Lonely Fart. Wow. Thank you very much for complimenting my flourishes, Boner of a Lonely Fart. That's very kind of you. I love music, and if you love music and you also love very funny music, go to the channel on Twitch. You can open up a new tab. Don't leave this stream because I don't think he's streaming right now. But if he is, watch that too. Bill Larkin Music, all one word. It's he's really one of my all-time favorites. Bill Larkin Music. Parasitosis says Bill Larkin Music, all one word. All is one word. No, it's just the Bill Larkin Music part, and then all one word was a different part. So Bill Larkin Music, comma, parentheses, all one word. What the fuck? Anonymous just tipped us $8.76. That's incredible. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Anonymous, we love what you do with all the digital hacking and whatnot, and writing Renaissance songs like Green Sleeves, and we hope you get better with your alcoholism, but we love your limericks like the one about the man from Nantucket. Anonymous does so much for us, and they still find time to give some subs every now and then here on the Twitch stream. Maui Girl says, I really enjoyed the performance. You really put on a show today, Henry. Thank you very much, Maui Girl. That's very nice to hear. You know, this morning I woke up and I said, you know what? Why don't you actually try? And then I thought, nah, but I think I will probably try to make the songs a little better. Beanie Bo Beanie says, Bill Larkin Music, all one word. No, guys, it's Bill Larkin Music, and that part is all in one word. Okay, let's put this guitar away. We've got work to do. What do you say to that, Brisket? Oh no. Brisket's not even getting up when I walk over there. He's so depressed. What's going on? There you go. Doing a weird thing where he's licking the air. Why would he be licking the air? Probably he might smell the tasty vegetables that we're about to cut up here. Yeah, just go back to sleep. There's nothing happening here. Teaser Tuesday says Brisket's licking the OBS watermark. Yeah, it did look like that for a second. Ishmael says, I think he's licking his mustache. Yeah. He might have some stuff left over there. All right, everybody. Well, we got a couple more pictures. Isla P. Catbutts sent a picture of them getting flowers, or taking a picture of flowers at the 7-Eleven. And you know what's interesting about this is there's another companion picture here from Angry Penguin of the pictures that Isla P. Catbutts was taking. Oh, so I think Isla P. Catbutts was taking the picture, and this is Angry Penguin. And this is the picture that they submitted of what was happening in that first picture. There's a whole story there, I'm sure. Pug Lady sends a picture of Millie the pug. I've met Pug Lady in the Southern California area, and Pug Lady is in the southwestern United States. And this is her dog living her best life. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. It looks like she has a smile on her face. Thanks, Pug Lady, for sending us this, for once, something cheery on this show, because we've had a lot of kind of downer moments, but it's good to see that. And our intern Beanie Bobini sent us this picture. Back to the downer stuff. This is apparently Beanie Bobini worked in controlled fire starting, and this is very cool. Ash K Thanks says, is it a picture of reverb? I don't know what a picture of reverb would look like. Picture of reverb. I have to figure that. Reverb. Oh, I think I know what happened. I left the reverb on. Very, very good coded message there. I like that. Ash K Thanks. Here we go. Check 1 2. Very sorry about that. I know people, it is often very triggering to have reverb when somebody's talking, especially unnatural reverb. Beanie Bobini says the fire is good for the plants. It's what they crave. Oh yeah, I'm sure they love fire. Yeah, not every living thing likes being set on fire. Is that what they told you at that job where they made you indiscriminately just light everything on fire? No, I'm sure controlled fires are probably very helpful. They're better than fires that happen without us trying. Thanks, Beanie Bobini. This is a cool picture. It's kind of like a yin and yang kind of thing, you know? It's like half and half. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, I think that's it for the pictures. I think that means it's time for us to go into our kitchen and start cooking. I don't like it, but that's what we're supposedly doing here. Parasitosis says all fires are controlled until they aren't. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think. Okay, here we go. Back to the kitchen. Well, I opened up the coffee that was gifted to me by, and I hope I don't get this wrong. I don't know if I have the card. Beanie Bobini, was this you who gave me the Duluth Coffee Company? I know it's Minnesota. Hugh Tenango Guatemalan washed coffee. Was that you? It's Beanie Bobini says, yes, boss. Okay, well, for one thing, you're an intern. I know you're not a paid intern, so you don't have to be getting me gifts. That's not part of the requirements for being an intern. But I have to say, I very much appreciate it. This is incredible coffee. Holy shit, this is... Wow, I could just smell that all day and feel better. This is really good. A very famous ruler. I don't remember if it was Marcus Aurelius or somebody said a kiss without a mustache is like eggs without salt. And I don't know what that has to do with what's happening right now, but anyway, this is really good coffee. Timmy Bublé says, I was the ruler who said that. Oh, okay. Well, if Timmy Bublé, if you're part of the Bublé family there, you do rule. Michael Bublé and his brother Timmy. Parasitosis says, whose kitchen is this? There's no signage to know who it is. Yeah, well, the sign has seen better days, but we'll get the sign back up there. Beanie Bobini says, don't be afraid. Bring the mustache back. Yeah, I got to get that mustache going again. That was pretty sweet. When I went to Chicago, I came back with a huge mustache. Computer, how long after a trip to Chicago does the mustache last?
Based on current traffic, it will take about 1 day, 4 hours and 24 minutes to drive there.
Oh, my mustache lasted a lot longer than that. To drive to mustache? What the fuck is... What are you talking about? Oh, God. Hi, I'm Tara182 says the Chicago stash happens. Yeah, it really does. Mine wasn't even ironic. It was just a real mustache. None of this hipster, twisty, dolly type stuff. Gonna have some more of this beautiful coffee. Thanks again, Beanie Bo Beanie, for gifting me this. And then, after that, we've got this other incredible coffee that's gonna happen. Roasted in New York City. It's called Joe Coffee. Born in the heart of New York City, Joe Coffee. Is there really a guy named Joe Coffee? It sounds a little on the nose. Believes in curiosity, conversation, and openness. Well, sure. Our cafes are places where all are welcome. Diversity is celebrated, and the coffee is always crafted and served with love. Well, that sounds very nice. But yeah, I mean, if you're a business, it's sort of like, you can all give us your money. We're okay with that. Enjoy a cup with us and grab a seat on the bench. Well, this sounds like it's going to be some really good stuff. Proudly small batch roasted in New York City. Computer, what is small batch roasting?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Apparently it's not a thing. They just made it up. Dickle Chips says, there should be restaurants that just serve coffee. Yeah, how weird would that be? I think there used to be, but then they started going, well, we can't make this work. So they had to add food and all kinds of other stuff. Parasitosis says the scientific term for hair growth is driving, due to the hair follicle driving out more keratin away from the follicle. Oh, okay, that explains why we had to drive to mustache, I suppose. Yeah, this looks like some beautiful coffee, and I can't wait to open it. And it came to us from the users. Was this Parasitosis, Beelzebub, and It's K? And if I'm leaving anybody out, please let me know. But that's next, and I can't wait. I'm very lucky. What do you think of that, Brisket? We're going to be having some New York City coffee. Uh-oh. Something's not working. I can't even make heads or tails. Brisket. Yeah, Brisket is KO'd. Maybe it's something about Henry's Kitchen. Depresses everyone. Parasitosis says, I just helped with the death machine. Wow. Carinu Pinion says, there she is. She's just shy. Yeah, she's camera shy. She likes her walks. Fondue yourself. Why did you say Brisket's situation is temporary? Brisket is a foster, but not a foster to own. I can't own a dog. It's too much for me to think about. And still, trying to figure out traveling and all this other stuff. And so fostering as a dog is a way that you can feel like you're helping the animal community. Bill Kunstler says her witching hour will come this evening. Yeah, the witching... Wait, computer, what is a witching hour?
According to Wikipedia, in folklore, the witching hour or devil's hour is a time of night that is associated with supernatural events, whereby witches, demons, and ghosts are thought to appear and be at their most powerful. Did that answer your question?
Kind of. But it just means
Thanks
I
for your
have
feedback.
more questions now.
Delicious.
What the fuck? The News Junkie. Our friend the News Junkie. All one word. The News Junkie. Junkie, not Y. Has rated us. Thank you very much, the News Junkie. You often come here on the weekdays and share your audience with us, and we really appreciate it. We've been having a lot of fun today. Hope you've been junking out on some news today. The Silent Coda says, you're being rated by the News Junkie, an Orlando radio/podcast show that covers news with some of the most skilled and entertaining people in the business. Also, Sean is on it. Okay, so Sean's not one of the skilled and entertaining people, or is Sean included on that? Either way, I am very, very happy to receive, as a fellow news junkie myself, very happy to receive a raid from you, and thanks for sharing your audience with us. And how's Orlando? Boy, I haven't been to Disney World in so many years. I think I was 10 the last time I was there, and it was great. But in my adult life, I find myself being more attracted to places like Miami and the Keys. Man Kickin' says, God, that was perfect. What? Did I miss something? The Chunks says, demonic forces are famously punctual and live by incredibly rigid schedules. Oh, you're talking about the witching hour. Yeah, we're talking about, for whatever reason now, my fucking Stream Deck isn't working anymore. Like, can anything else stop working here? All right, well, there's that. Vados says, I respect a demon that shows up on time. Yeah. Okay, Ladies Laid, thank you so much for cheering 15 bits. That's very kind of you. And let's see what else. All right, well, let's break into this thing. This thing is a badass piece of equipment. My Stream Deck or whatever has stopped working. So I've learned a little bit about this thing since we last did our stream, and this thing really is truly a badass situation. Okay? So I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's the Mueller Black 750 Pro Series. This is professional, not prosumer. It's not consumer. It's not amateur. This is not your grandma's fucking bullshit thing that she had in her kitchen. This is for the professionals only. You're going to see this on Top Kitchen or whatever that show is. This is the Mueller Pro Series Multi-Slicer MC780. It's got a non-slip gripping technology, so you can really get some friction happening there. Plus stainless steel premium blades. These are going to deliver some very precise sharpness for high performance dicing, slicing, and chopping. But honestly, don't let the sleek design of this thing fool you. This is probably one of the most badass pieces of equipment in your whole fucking kitchen. And it's going to kick ass for you. It's going to work for you. It's the workhorse of 2026. And I'm very proud to be the owner of it. We just have to learn how to use it. Guitar Joe says, I think the bananas have been browned by being put in the refrigerator. Are you not supposed to put the bananas in the refrigerator? Computer, do you put bananas in the refrigerator?
Banana can be stored in the fridge, where it usually can last up to 3 days. However, banana is best when stored at room temperature, where it usually can last 2 to 5 days after being fully ripe.
Well, Vados says now they're brownanas. Computer, is brownanas a real word?
From foodrepublic.com. These brown butter palm anna are a quintessential side dish for roasted meat and simple seared fish.
I thought you were doing a joke, but apparently brown anna is a real thing. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to show you, there's a little ridge here. And what I learned, I spent hours working on this thing the other day. Just Brisket and me. We put on some Jose Suicidio music. Oh, and by the way, I want to mention that. Jose Suicidio, we're doing a listening party right here on Twitch at noon Pacific time. It's going to be powered by the Bandcamp listening party feature. So we're going to project that, and you can ask questions, but it's basically going to run down the whole new album from Jose Suicidio. I'll answer questions as the producer of it. I'm very good friends with Jose Suicidio, and there's a link right there. Thanks, It's Kate, for for that link. Put it in your calendar. We're going to have a lot of fun. And we're going to do a listening party for There's Something Wrong With Me by Jose Suicidio. Suicidio is the correct pronunciation, but yeah. Let's go ahead and get back to work here. So there's a little lip here, there's a lip here, and there's a ridge there. And what you're going to do is you're going to just tuck it underneath there and lock it. Make sure it's locked into place. See, these things are so good at gripping that I'm only gripping the cooking board. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to remove the cooking board from the situation and just use this, I think, because you don't really need it. Okay, so then we have, whoa, be careful, you guys. I'm going to wear a protective glove here. This is really supposed to be fire retardant, but I've found that it's also a sharp knife retardant as well. Okay, let's get... There's more accessories here. You can put one of these square things in here. Again, this is professional equipment. This is not user friendly. It's not friendly even. Oh, there's an unlock button here. What the fuck? Okay, there it is. Now push lock. See, now that's not going anywhere. But it's not locked into this. Okay. Ow! Fuck! Alright, I just cut myself. We're going to have to get a Band-Aid. Brisket's alarmed. I'm gonna show you a video really quick. We're gonna put a Band-Aid on. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. But this is just an example of how you got to be super careful. We're gonna show a video of Rick Beato, the famous YouTuber, explaining the Jose Suicidio music, doing a review. And this is totally real. It's not something that I edited to make it look cool.
He writes these really interesting chord progressions that will generate these beautiful melodies, but chorus is incredible in this song, and that's saying a lot because so many of his songs have great choruses. Let's check out the beginning.
Something hurts and it's way down deep. I think there's something wrong with me. I got friends that I never see. They say they don't have time for me. I try to reach out to my family, but I just get voicemail.
Let me solo the vocals so you can hear the beautiful vocal quality he has here.
I try to watch TV, it only saddens me. Everyone's yelling and screaming and fighting in the street. I put some pizza in the microwave, forgot about it for several days.
He makes it sound so melancholy just with his delivery of the melody. But we'll not let our drum fill there. Listen to the drum.
First she has a boyfriend, the next day she's engaged. Then she says she's married. Girl, why are you playing these mind games? Love games, head games, brain games, mind benders, brain twisters. She's playing with my head. I saw her on the
the amazing thing about this, once again, here it is.
Don't look now, shit on a shingle. Everybody run for the western side. Don't look now, shit on a shingle. Everybody's drinking turpentine. Don't look now, shit on a shingle. Everybody run for the woods. Someone's shitting on a shingle and it isn't looking good.
To a proper volume so you can hear that this is really a phenomenal guitar solo. Check this out. You'll be surprised at the tune. What a great band to solo over, right? This really rocks. Here we go.
Oh, girl, don't you know what you're doing to me when you spin your web of lies? You got me begging on my hands and knees for one more try. Oh, hey, girl, it looks like you told me another bullshit story.
I mean, you can...
Okay, there you go. Unsuccessfully coping says mine had estimated dispatch for June 10th, although, oh wait, no, that's something else. Boner of a Lonely Fart said, oh, Rick had a couple of costume changes during this review. He must sweat through his clothes a lot. I want to say, yeah, this is a lot of people are a little suspect that maybe I might have just taken some old clips of Rick Beato and put the new Jose Suicidio album into the soundtrack. But that's not what I did at all. That's totally real. We don't do stuff like that here at Henry's Kitchen. Man Kicking says, that'd be great yacht rock all day long. I'm going to send that to Jack. Yeah, you should. Okay, so I want to say, if you want to see my finger, oh, sorry, no, it's this one here. I don't want you to be alarmed. I did cut myself a little bit, and all I have is a huge Band-Aid. I couldn't find a little Band-Aid, so I don't want you to think that this is as bad as it looks. But that's all I have is fucking huge Band-Aids. So we're going to go ahead now and be very careful with this. Like I said, I think we're going to start with the banana. Hold on a second. We want to cut this open. I'm not going to use any sharp knives or anything for this. Very important that your fruit needs to be placed properly on this very sharp blade here. Okay? Cody's says, don't feel bad. I had a feeling you were going to get cut. Yeah, no, this thing, you don't want to mess with this. The sharp part is on this side. For some reason, I thought the sharp part was on the other side. That's probably why I was so cavalier about it. But here we go. We're going to cut this banana. This part's going to press down onto it. Z. Bradbell says that pusher part doesn't match the blade. Interesting. Okay, wait. Yeah, you see that? We just cut this banana like like that's a total pro cut that we just did right there. All right, and then this part is removable. I'm going to put on the glove for this. Safety first in the kitchen, and you'll notice that I actually had the glove on, but I didn't have one on this hand, and this is the one that got cut. So whatever hand that you're putting near this thing, that's the one you want to be careful with. Okay, so let's take our nice banana. You could probably put that in your salad or something of that nature. We're doing the Pro Series 750. This thing is a badass piece of equipment. We're basically making fruit salad. Okay. Guitar Joe says you have the Julian plunger in. Yeah, you can, I guess, is that what it is? Julian? All right, so now we're going to put in, this is a whole different attachment here, but it attaches very much in the same way. And these are the sharp parts, so watch out. you need, okay, this you have to put on unlock. Okay, and then yeah, and then this part goes on there. See? You know, a few days, several hours of working on with the manual, you'll be able to get this as smooth as I've got it. I don't want everybody to think just because it's easy for me that somehow it's going to be hard for you. Or that it's going to be easy for you. It's actually going to be very difficult. Let's try a little zucchini, shall we? The food that you're using has to be flat. That's the most important thing here, okay? So you see how that's flat? That's going to give you the ability. You know what? I know this sounds probably redundant, but I'm going to go ahead and use literally another UV glove for this because I really don't want to cut myself. And I also, safety is so important when you're in the kitchen. You have to. And even this UV glove isn't very protective because I've burned the tips of it so that my fingers poke through. So I have to be aware of that. Unsuccessfully Coping says, ever heard of zucchini hands? Neither did I until I got those secretions on me and it nearly gave me a rash. Ugh, that's awful. I've never heard of that. Well, I'm glad I have the protective gloving then. Thanks again, Ladies Led, for your bits, and Lady Dina. Androphyte says, is the glove zucchini retardant as well? I think it is. I mean, it's fire retardant, it's sharp knife retardant, and I wish I had had it on this hand instead of the other one. But I think it is zucchini retardant. All Day Yuckers says zucchini retardant is my punk band. Oh, cool. It's a Henry's Kitchen theme, I guess. Okay, here we go. This is flat, as you can see, and we're going to go ahead, and I feel protected now that I've got my gloves on. And you just want to go to town. Oh yeah, that's how I ruin the tips of these things, is by going across here. Okay. Look at that. Now that looks like something that a pro would have done, right? Let's go ahead and add that to our fruit salad. Let's do one more. Remove this. Okay. You'll get the hang of it. This part takes a little getting used to. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this little one in here. One of the users called it julienning. I guess maybe that's a little bit what we're doing. Caution, sharp. Avoid touching blades with your fingers. Well, yeah, thanks for that. I didn't see that earlier, but they do cover their ass with that. I can't really blame them. Okay, let's, you know what I have? Potato's not going to work, I don't think. Let's use... We can use the remainder of the oven that we did during, the onion that we did during part 2. It's very difficult to open this with these gloves, so I'm just going to take it off here. Okay, and we're going to do basically the same thing. Might need to take some layers off of this thing. What do you think of this brisket? Let's check in with brisket real quick. That's not brisket. Hold on a second. Brisket has had enough. Okay, here we go. I'm finding that it's very difficult for me to do any kind of work with the gloves on, so I'm sort of struggling with doing a little bit of both. Okay, well, what fruit salad is ever complete without some julienne onions? Look at that. We just made ourselves a professional looking situation here of a lot of healthy goodness. This is fruits and vegetables salad. Van Honkerton says, it's okay, Henry. I often struggle in the kitchen too. Yeah, and I'm a guy who literally does this for a living. I've been doing this for 15 years. So if it's this difficult for me, imagine what it must be like for you coming in with no experience at all. Parasitosis says, this would be an amazing tool for the mob to use to threaten people. Put some poor schmuck's hand in there and ask for the damn money he owes. Yeah, I think they had a scene like that in the game we played. All right, let's have a little bit of this. Pretty tasty. I want to thank the users for gifting me the Mueller Pro Series. It's pretty amazing. The banana's good. Let's try the onion. Oh yeah, the onion kind of cuts the banana and vice versa. And I didn't need the Onyo helm. This is going to be a game changer in your kitchen. I will say we're not officially being sponsored. I need to wash that onion down with some water. That was kind of stupid of me to just eat raw onion like that. That was weird. Okay. Computer, what time is it?
The time is 12:18 p.m.
Ishmael says, I think whoever gifted that to you might be trying to kill you. I don't think they're trying. I think I'm just sort of doing it. Let's have a little coffee break. Oh yeah, Garfield mug. If nothing goes right, try going left. That's what Garfield says there. If nothing goes right, try going left. Copyright pause. All rights are reserved. You can't steal that joke and tell it to your work buddies. That's copyrighted. Official Shitter says, I have that one too. Wow. Maui Girl says, I got my boyfriend a slap chop gift, and he wrote a review on Amazon mentioning that it ruined Christmas. Wow, that's rough. A slap chop gift ruined Christmas. It does sound a little bit like it would. Okay. All right. Well, what we learned here is that the Mueller series, Pro Series, it's not something you want to fuck around with. This is professional equipment. It's not prosumer, consumer, amateur equipment. This isn't your grandma's slicer where you've got 3 generations of grandma, daughter, and mother all making fucking lasagna on Thanksgiving or whatever, or, turkey. This is the real deal. Corinne Opinion says it's anti-sumer. Yeah, I guess you could probably say that. Pug Lady 2600 says probably because it's so loud. It is loud. Maui Girl says the onion got stuck inside. Did it really? Oh yeah, I'm going to have to use the toothbrush they give you, and that's going to clean all that stuff off. But I want to go in there fully armed. Okay, everybody, it's game time. Time to play our game. We played a variation of this next game a couple of weeks ago, and it's a lot of fun. It's the Mark Cohen game, but Mark and the folks at Mark Cohen Productions have altered the game just slightly to make it a Henry's Kitchen customized game. So here we go. Ishmael, fully armed but partially fingered. Yeah, that's correct. Maui Girl 45 says, boyfriend threw the entire thing in the trash in front of me. Oh, that's too bad. It ruined Christmas. The shop dicer or whatever. Guitar Joe says, there's such a learning curve on such devices that you might as well buy 2. You're going to bend the blades while you're learning. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Okay, so I just need to get set into game mode. We're going to turn on desktop audio. Shout out to Quanto, who taught me how to do all this stuff. How do we do this here? The game is called Jorkle. Okay. I don't know if there's sound. Oh, there is. Okay. There's the URL up there. If anybody else wants to play it. But it's pretty straightforward. There's help. You'll see how many words are needed to complete a punchline. So we're going to be completing the punchlines, or in this case, the Henry's Kitchen catchphrase. Select punchline words needed from a grid in the correct order. If you are happy with punchline, click the right button. If you are not happy with your punchline, guess rewrite and try again. Okay, let's do this. We're going to do this as a collaborative effort here. If you mention Palos Verdes, she will. Do we have any guesses out there from Henry's Kitchen people? I know Dazzlecat would get this one. Oh, there you are. We have Guitar Joe saying smack you like a mule, and Dazzlecat says slap you like a mule. Let's see if we have both options. Smack you like. I like it. Nice. Nice work. Nice teamwork there. Pug Lady says smack. A lot of people saying smack. If you just joined us, that's kind of a weird thing to see everybody say out of context. Corinne Opinion says, didn't you say before that onions have toxins in them? Yeah, they do. They affect the lacrimatory response. But after a couple of days, apparently they... we've got an answer. Lady Dina says, if you will. For this next part, we're going to be setting up sort of a makeshift assembly line. And Lady Dina says, if you will. Right. Very good. This is a little trick my grandma taught me that she learned Punchline needs 5 words, guys. Beanie Bobini says this has to be good for memory. Pug Lady says in the slammer. This is a little trick my grandma taught me that she learned road train sea state was. Do you think it might be that? Gumme Kende says while she was... Yeah, we're getting a consensus. Mentally ill, 247. While she was in jail. Boom. We did it, guys. Maui girl, while she was in jail. Beanie Bo Binky, Beanie says, Binky, the clink could work. When I was growing up, we weren't allowed to say fart in the house. We had to say, and everybody unanimously knows this one, air shit. Okay, I think there's one. Uh-oh. Did I get it wrong? When I was growing up, we weren't allowed to say fart in the house. We had to say, we need 2 words. Air shit. Okay, I must have typed something wrong. Okay, holy guacamole, holy guacamole. I just got Pug Lady busted for drugs. So I think the idea is that Mark is going to make this for various notable, quotable people, comedians probably mostly, and this is the Henry's Kitchen. Jokes written 5, session time 3:30, 126. Thank you very much, everybody, for your help on that. WTF says deep edge offer. Pug Lady says this is fun. Yeah, it is fun. Thanks, Mark Cohen, for gifting us that game. It was a fun time killer. You need to understand that there's a lot of downtime in the kitchen. Wait, why does it look like there's something in my microwave all of a sudden? What's happening there? Has it always been like that? I don't know. Whatever. All right, everybody. Well, I think it's time for us to do our thank you song. Hey, how are you doing there, buddy? Why does Brisket have a little pirate eye going on there? It's probably just from waking up. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. You okay? Brisket's entire job in life is literally just to look cute. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and do this to the tune of Rhinestone Cowboy. The song that we just did. But this is a thank you song. I like to do this song as a way to thank you, the users of Henry's Kitchen. And there's currently 390 subscribers, 150 viewers. I want to thank the News Junkie for giving us a raid. Roach Swallower says, I'm glad it hit home. It sure did, Roach Swallower. It hit home really big. Parasitosis says, a rhinestone user. Yeah, we could make it sort of a parody of the song. But this is for the folks that run the Discord as well as the Tier 3 subscribers. the big name subscriber, users who have done these raids with us and shared their audience with us, as well as the folks that run the Discord, the technical advisors, so many people. Here we go. We're going to put the reverb back on. I hope that's not going to be a problem for anybody. Check 1, 2. Falcon and Dingo Bob, Dom Beef, Hot Bear 1110, Dingle, Goggle, Dr. Flanges and Bakus, Shania Beelzebub, Mochi's Nirvana, It's Kate, Kairos and Bumble Vision, the LGX, Chef Reactions, Husky Boyle, Bill Larkin, Music, the Toily and the News Junkie, Nim, Moon, Amaru, Orca Mind, S-Fan and Bonnie 2, Dazzle Cat, Blurry Little Quest and Borsenden, Nella Parasitosis and don't forget Quanto, a Beanie Bo Beanie, Dazzle Cat, Zon, Bane, Toke, My Nuts, Saguaro, Burrito 5555, Dinosaur, I Slap, Cat Butts, JV's Tech, Sickly Boy, Beelzebub, Henlips 1, Caitlin's Kitchen, Embry 225, Yarchasm, Nico Tazo, Michael Bublé 4422, and Potato Cat Breeder. Passion Error, Minho Shin 64, Midnight Faded Jazz, VX Fan, Isity Tisk, Pool Boy 789, These Nuts, Game Master Flash, Mimsy Coon, the Cat Food Taste Tester, the Charon X, Mochi's Nirvana, Red Hot Hibachi, Ransom GR, Isity Tisk, Michelle Heffy, Lacey T, Purple Donut Fillings, Fruit Tankard and Borsenden, Whoa, Zodiac, Tom Gary Busey, ASMR, Lurk Bowl, Shandis Little Larry and Mr. Gooseberry VT, BK69, and Rose Tower 007, Royal Flush 9, and don't forget Quanto. I always think it'd be really weird if somebody just came in right during that song. That would be a bizarre situation for them. All right. I want to thank everybody so much for joining us here at Henry's Kitchen. Camo Miles says that was wonderful. Thank you, everybody. You're so supportive of me and my whatever the fuck we're doing here in the kitchen, and I just am very appreciative of it. Roach Swallower, thank you for sharing the guitar with us today, Henry. Thank you. Thanks, Hammy X Hams. D's nuts get me every time. Yeah. Royal Flesh 9 says, Henry and the users, thank you all so much. This Wednesday stream really helped me get through the week. I'm glad to hear that. And also, don't forget that Friday at noon Pacific time, we're going to be doing a listening party, if you will, of the album There's Something Wrong With Me by Jose Suicidio. So order a pizza, take your lunch break, and we're going to hang out here and do a listening party, and I'll answer questions. Thanks, Official Shitter. Thanks, everybody. And tell your friends. It's not going to be a cooking stream, thank goodness, because I'm getting injured here. Beelzebub says RSVP at the link. Yeah. Gumme Kende says, thanks so much for streaming. Thank you, Gumme Kende. Pancake King says, I'll get some questions together. Yeah, get those questions together, and I'll answer them in real time. Neat. Take care of your finger. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I think it's going to be okay. Don't let the giant Band-Aid fool you. It was just a little tiny cut, but all I have are giant Band-Aids, and so it looks like more than it is. But Parasitosis says, Aurora in your kitchen this time of year. Yeah, there's something kind of weird going on there. I don't know what that light source is. It's odd. Fire, 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 fire says, don't let any rat shit near that tiny cut. Yes, that is how you get the hantavirus. We do not want that. Okay, Roach Swaller says, play Freebird one more time. I don't have Freebird at the ready, but we got a Freebird for you. Nice callback. Beanie Bobini says, thanks, Henry. Thank you, fellow users. Thanks for your internship, Beanie Bobini. Thanks, Parasitosis, for moderating. My question, where was Henry when the Lindbergh baby was taken? I was very young, but doesn't mean it's impossible. Okay, everybody. Thanks so much, and I will see you on Friday for the listening party at noon Pacific time. Time to take Brisket out for a walk. One last shot of Brisket. Hey, Brisket. Wow, all tuckered out there, are you? Yeah, she's all tuckered out. She took a really good poop early this morning, which is more than I can say for the rest of this household. Poo, 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 says Cute Dog. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you on Friday for the listening party. Let's order a pizza. Okay. See you soon. Thanks.